A Long Way Gone, Memoirs of a Boy Soldier by Ishmael Beah. What would it be like to be 12 years old and a soldier in the army? When we got the assignment to pick a book to read independently, I did not have a book in mind. I looked at the list of books to read. I still did not know what to choose. I did not find my Iron Man comics on the list. Because I did not have a book in mind, I asked for a recommendation. A Long Way Gone, Memoirs of a Boy Soldier was suggested. I thought it might be about war or a social problem, because every book we've read has been about a social problem. I was glad that it ended up being a really good book. I never really thought about kid warriors before. The author of my book was a 12-year-old boy from Sierra Leone, West Coast Africa, who was a boy soldier. The story of this book was an autobiography, where Ishmael told the story of his life as a boy soldier. When his country was in civil war, he was forced into becoming a soldier. The book follows his life into early adulthood. Main characters in the story are 12-year-old Ishmael Beah. Junior Beah was his older brother. Eliah was his close friend who had strong combat skills. He had 5 close friends in the village, but they were separated as they all ran to hide. He hooked up with 6 new boys who he traveled with and who were forced to be soldiers also. Gazmu was an old man who said that Ishmael's family was alive. Ishmael got angry when this wasn't true and hit Gazmu in the nose, and Gazmu bled to death. Ishmael counseled with Esther, and he was able to debrief from his traumatic experiences. Tommy was his uncle that helped him get out of his bad experience. Laura was his foster mother who helped him get on his feet in the U.S. My book story took place between 1980 to 1998. Ishmael lived in a village in Sierra Leone, Western Africa. Sierra Leone is where many diamonds are mined. During his life, his country was going through civil war because of poverty. His village was attacked by rebels and he escaped and lived on his own to survive. He hooked up with 6 comrades and he traveled with, looking for work so that he would have food and shelter. He was a soldier for 4 years when men from UNICEF selected a group of boy soldiers to go to rehab because of their trauma from being soldiers. They were accustomed to killing people when in the army, and they had been given drugs to numb the nightmares. After rehab, he lived with his Uncle Tommy, who ended up dying. He was chosen to go to the U.S. to talk in front of the UN about being a boy soldier. When he returned home, the rebels attacked his village again. So he returned to the U.S. and lived with his foster mother, Laura. Ishmael went on to write his book and to be a speaker about children exploited to be soldiers in third world countries. My research said that therapy and rehab can help children who have been traumatized. Also, in Innocence Lost, it talked about the first casualty of war is the children of the world. In Uganda, 5-year-olds have fought. One source of research from Australia questioned the experiences of Ishmael because of the critic said the dates did not line up. There was controversies between the editor and the critic about the credibility of Ishmael's story. I believe that what Ishmael said was accurate. If every detail was not perfect, the fact that children fight in the wars is still not acceptable. Even though a child has therapy and nightmares, the trauma never truly goes away. I was able to get pictures of boy soldiers and learn that the UNICEF helps children of third world countries. In my book, UNICEF and the UN offered help to the children living in the US with a foster parent, allowed Ishmael to be free to heal. In 2002, the civil war in Sierra Leone ended, but Ishmael stayed in the US. He graduated from Oberlin College with a bachelor's degree in political science. He is a member of the Human Rights Watch Children's Rights Division Advisory Committee and was talked before the UN. Ishmael has taken a tragedy and has used it to teach people about the cost of war to children. I would recommend this book to teens and adults because of the gore of experience by children of the war. I learned that war is serious. When I compare my life to his, my life seems simple. His education was interrupted when he needed to fight as a soldier. He was forced to provide for himself from age 12. I think it would be interesting to try to survive, but I would not want to have to worry about a war as well. To conclude, I am glad I read this book. I hope the US never uses boy soldiers. More people should be made aware of the boy soldier problem of third world countries. Thank you.